This is going to be a very quick video. Why? Because I could literally take a good majority of my review of the first issue and drop it in this one. If anything, less happens in this issue than the last issue. At least the last issue was a setup, but there is so little of substance here in this issue, it's kind of embarrassing. The fact that this mini is 3 issues long is utterly baffling to me. This whole issue just screams filler. I could just end the review there and move on, but I'm a rather nice person, so let's actually look at this thing. One of the few compliments I can give to this issue is the fact that the cover is quite good. The colors and shading are great, and the actual situation we're shown is downright entertaining. It kind of lies, as we'll see, but it does manage to shove in almost everything that's going to happen in this thing in one weird, concise image. We once again open the comic on a text recap page, and then go straight from the recap into another recap, a full page just telling us everything that happened in the previous issue before we get to the actual meat of the comic. The story actually opens up with Hamlin and Jeffrey fighting one another, doing plenty of macho posturing against one another as they fight. Things get a bit rough as Jeffrey knocks Hamlin down, though Sally quickly breaks things up in the most eloquent fashion, a boot to the head. She states that Jeffrey needs to start working with them as part of a team rather than showing off all the time, which I don't really think was the original issue. Now I'm confused. Is he hated because he's showing off or because they don't trust him or what? Anyway, since their next target is in the middle of the ocean, they take to the skies in some gliders to get where they need to go, but it doesn't take long before some anti-air artillery takes one of them down. They land and find Arlo, who's injured but still breathing, and Penelope volunteers to stay with him. So it seems like the comic's actually taking my advice and getting rid of some of the excess needless characters in the story. The group now attacks the fortress, and my god, I'm not kidding, exact same story beats as last time. They infiltrate, they get caught by a dangerous security bot, both Hamlin and Dylan do fuck all, Sally gets caught, Jeffrey saves the day, big boom, the end. This is the major action set piece of the comic, and it is not good if I can summarize it by pointing you to the previous issue. Penelope and Arlo are missing, but Sally points out that it's far too dangerous for them to look for them right now, much to Hamlin's chagrin. The others side with Sally as they glide away from the island, straight into another night scene. Jeffrey once again starts sneaking away through the camp, only this time he's got Sally in tow. No explanation as to how he's transporting her without waking her up, and I'm trying to keep the bad implications out of my brain. He takes her back to the facility from the first issue, putting Sally inside a tank next to another Sally, who awakens and demands a status report. Our first introduction to Robotnik's Infiltrator line of robots, ridiculously good mimic bots who not only look and sound like the person they're impersonating, but are also equipped with enough personality data to accurately act like them as well. Scary thought, right? Pity it's not being introduced in a better story. Cut to the next day, where the fake Sally is leading Dylan and Hamlin to the final facility. As they take out the guard bots at the front, Hamlin wonders where Jeffrey is. And we get the reveal of Jeffrey delivering the potted Sally to the true mastermind, Dr. Robotnik! Oh my god, I totally didn't see this one coming! And that's the end of the issue. My god, this thing was pointless. If you stripped out all of the superfluous padding from the first 2 issues, tightened up the pacing a little bit, and stripped out the characters that didn't do anything, there's probably enough content between these 2 issues for one concise issue, which definitely doesn't say a lot of good things about the third and final issue of this, now does it? I wish there was more to say, but there just isn't. This is very much an in-between issue, it's not even funny. I didn't really comment on it in the last issue either, but our artist for this mini is Art Mawhinney, with inks and colors by Rich Kowalski and Barry Grossman, respectively. Mawhinney is one of those artists that strikes me as uneven, and in this case, I say that because I know they're perfectly capable of great artwork, but also capable of some downright monstrous character designs. Case in point, Sally, Robotnik, and Jeffrey all look pretty good all throughout the entire mini, and Hamlin shifts between looking okay and off-model and sort of rubbery, but the other characters, Penelope, Dylan, and Arlo, all look off. Like Mawhinney was trying their best to stay both anatomically correct to their real-life counterparts, and also cartoonish enough to appear in a comic about a bright blue hedgehog. It's weird. I will say that the background work is getting better though, definitely getting closer to the more detailed set pieces that were in the cartoon. Second issue down, so let's move on to the third and put this mini to rest so I can just forget this thing exists and go back to the main comic, like the writers seem to want to do. At least until I have to cover the next spin-off in the book's history.